Stu, do you remember we asked you a question? Would you know how to call for help if you were in danger? We went on to discuss the fact that there are various subtle ways and secret ways of getting help and support if you need them, if you find yourself in a vulnerable position. Shops you can walk into and effectively say a secret password or passphrase when you're in trouble. There are also ways of using your phone to silently alert the authorities. Well, one of the places now that's become a safe place, places that you can do this, is the Valkyrie Bar in Evesham. Nina Das Gupta is there this morning to find out how they've teamed up with the Evesham Street pastors to offer help. Nina's been speaking to the co-owners, Steve Richford and Katrina Edwards.
So here we are in the Valkyrie Bar. This is the first time I've been into this bar in Evesham, so it's a big place, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite an large open area with some raised stage areas. We act as a bar during the day. We've got pool and darts. Then we do a late night music venue where we have discos, live bands going through till 3 o'clock in the morning.
Wow, so you're almost open all the time then, aren't you? So, I mean, you sent me an email about something very interesting about the safety of people when they're going out. The world's opening up again, so more people are going to be going out and more people are going to want to feel safe. So what are you involved with doing here?
Well, after all the press about what happened recently in the scenario with London about the young lady that unfortunately was attacked then, we decided that because we were open and we were open until late in the morning, we could offer a safe haven. So no matter who you are, if you feel vulnerable, if you feel like you're being followed, or you just need someone to be with, we're available here. We've got door staff. They can come. Everybody will know. We can arrange a taxi. We can phone family. We can walk them to the local taxis to make sure they get home safe.
Now, you're saying so people know it's a safe place to come to and that they can come and ask for help. But when it actually happens, if someone is feeling a bit uneasy, male or female, how do they approach you for help? What do they do?
There's a multiple of ways. Obviously, if they're just coming into the square, they can come straight to our door staff or any member of staff and actually physically ask. We're doing the Ask Angela scheme, which is when they can use hand gestures to show door staff. So if they're actually with somebody and they feel threatened but they can't say anything, they can use the hand gesture.
Okay, so what's the hand gestures? How can you describe them to me now?
Basically, so you can show an open hand.
Yep.
You press your thumb into the centre and you cover your thumb over. And that is a way of saying, I need some assistance, basically.
Right, okay.
So that can be done behind your back, also the other person you're with can't be seen.
Okay.
Right. We've also do the Ask Angela one, which is when they go to the bar and they'll ask, is Angela here? Can I speak to Angela, please? Then the staff will know that person is asking for help. So it'll be, yes, hold on, we'll go and fetch Angela, and then you'll get some assistance.
Right, okay. So if I come over to you, so if I was to go to the bar, or someone was to go to the bar and say to one of the bar staff, ask for Angela, what would happen then?
Well, they'd take them to one side, sit them down, if needs be, put them behind the bar, and if their boyfriend's with them and they don't want to be there, we'll put them in the storeroom, hide them behind. We'll call a taxi, see what they need, calm them down, ring a member of their family, or something like that, really.
We'll contact the pastors.
Yeah, we'll contact the pastors.
We have a radio link with the local street pastors, and we can call them or the police. We have a radio link to the police as well. So we can, depending on the severity, we can call the pastors who will come along and assist, or we can call the police and they can come out and take it any further that's necessary.
Now, you've told us sort of why you want to get involved with the, what we heard about in London and obviously increasing people coming out. But why here? Why this bar? Why is it so important that you get involved?
We already get involved with the local schools during the daytime. We're classed as a safe place for children, and the children in the local school are told that if they ever get lost in town or they do need somewhere to go, and we can act in that side. This is an extension of that. Right. So we brought it because adults, especially after the lockdown, adults can feel very vulnerable anyway. We're a central location. We're right in the market square. We're easy to get to, and we're very visible.
Why is it so important to you as a person?
Good question. Why is it important? I've got a young daughter. We've all got children. I just feel that we've got the ability to help somebody and to be able to do it, and it's, why not? It's a case of if everybody did it, and I'd like this to expand to other venues within town, other venues in different towns. We've got the people, so let's use the people for more than what just protecting our own people in our own bar. Let's spread that out and protect a few others.
Well, I think that's great, don't you? That's Nina Das Gupta speaking to Steve Richford and Katrina Edwards there from the Valkyrie Bar in Evesham, which has become a safe place, and the way they're doing it. Good stuff. We'll be back with Steve and Katrina and, of course, our Nina in the Valkyrie Bar a little bit later on in the show.
BBC Hereford and Worcester.
And about in Evesham today, paying a visit to the Valkyrie Bar. Nina Das Gupta is there to find out how they've teamed up with Evesham street pastors to offer help. They've become what they call a safe place. It means if you're in Evesham and you run into trouble somewhere or someone's threatening you, the Valkyrie Bar is somewhere that you can go to turn to for help. We featured this idea on the show recently. We discussed secret ways of getting help when you're out in public. There are ways. Essential pass phrases you can use to alert bar staff to the fact that you're in trouble. Well, earlier on we met the co-owners of the Valkyrie Bar, Steve and Katrina. We heard how one of the things they might do is call in the street pastors to offer you some support. So now Nina's been talking to a street pastor. His name's John Darby, talking to John about what they do and why schemes like that are needed in our towns today.
There's a lot of people around. Evesham's a really busy place. There's 4 clubs that have got licences to 3 o'clock. So on a busy-ish night, there'll be 500 or 600 people around. And, most of them are out just having a good time. But there are the occasional problems, and most nights we come across something. So it's just a good place to be, and it's good for us to be out there to support and encourage people who are there.
So, so there's not necessarily kind of, massive issue around Evesham with it. It's just generally, nightlife, just keeping an eye on people. What do you do then as a street pastor? So describe to me, if this was 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning and you were out there, what are you looking out for?
Well, there are, there's 400 or 500 people around. There will be some of those that need help in some way. So some of them have just, had too much to drink, fallen out with their boyfriend or girlfriend. And so we got flip-flops because young ladies are unable to walk on the high-heel shoes, and water and space blankets in the winter when it's really cold. But a lot of what we do is just talk to people. There's a lot of people that are they just want someone to talk to, and we've got time to do that.
And that's really important then, isn't it? Because I guess, after people might be out for a night out and relaxed, maybe after having a few drinks, they might feel the need then to open up to someone.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. There's lots of examples of those sort of things. People that have got, their dad's got cancer or they're due to go in hospital, and they just want to talk. They don't expect clever answers because we haven't got them, but they just want to talk. And so lots of our time is spent doing that. One of my colleagues spent half an hour talking to somebody. At the end of it, this guy says, "Well, thanks very much for talking to me." And we said, "Well, we didn't say anything. You did all the talking." And it's just good to be able to listen.
And I guess as well, again, like we were saying with that, how safe or unsafe people feel, there is still people that are a bit worried about coming out after lockdown. But this in Evesham is giving people confidence, isn't it? That, if you haven't been out for a year, if you haven't been out for a long time, don't worry, there is sort of support for your nightlife here.
Yeah, and there's always been people that needed that. People that have, something's gone wrong with the night. They've fallen out with somebody, and they came out with their boyfriend or the girlfriend, and they were driving, and they've ditched them, or they've had too much to drink, or something's happened. And we spend, there's a lot of examples of us spending time with people, just saying, okay, can we ring your sister? Can we ring your mum? Can we ring somebody, get them to come and pick you up? Can we get a taxi for you? And in the summer, that's not too bad. But I tell you, on a cold winter's night, when it's cold and miserable, then having somewhere like this to say, hey, well, come and sit in the warm here and just relax a little bit and just ease off. And then we'll get hold of someone to get you to come home. Do you know, in other places, so Cheltenham and lots of other big towns, they have caravans, permanent caravans to do this sort of things with street pastors staff. And Evesham's just not big enough to do that. It's just not worth doing. We thought about it, and to staff it, it's just not worth it. So doing the sort of stuff that Steve is doing is really opens up that way of looking after people in the war, and somebody to look after them, somewhere they know they can come, that they know they'll be safe.
They make a difference, you know, these street pastors, and they do it voluntarily. John Darby is one. You heard him talking there with Nina Das Gupta. And well done to Steve and Katrina at the Valkyrie Bar in Evesham, which has become a safe place. Good. 18 to 1.